Fight. Fast as you can. Come on.
And with January coming up and the new Paramount deal, that main event of UFC 324, it's going to be headlined by Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje. Who do you favor in that fight?
Man, I got to go with Gaethje. I feel like he's the one that is more like enjoys like a knockdown drag out more than the other guy. Not that Paddy Pimblett doesn't love to fight. It's just Gaethje loves to like actually get down and throw fist for fist. And he's also got the Division I wrestling to kind of negate some of the biggest skill sets of Paddy. Paddy's like a very dominant grappler when it comes to submissions and being, aggressive with that. I think Gaethje has the tools to keep it where he wants it, and I think that's going to give him the
title shot. I'd agree with that. I think Arman should be up there fighting, interim title, like Arman versus Paddy. I think could make sense considering win streaks and stuff. But I'm still super excited for Paddy versus Gaethje.
Speaking of Paddy Pimblett, man, I saw the odds. You're coming in as an underdog here. I was talking to Dan Hooker actually just the other day. Me and Dan don't really quite agree with the odds. What was your reaction when you saw that Paddy's the favorite going?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love it.
Why? Why do you love it? You love being the underdog going into fights?
Yeah, I mean, you don't get here unless you're petty. I love that stuff. People tell me I can't do something is the reason I'm still here. Obviously the people that have believed in me keep inspiring me to continue, but it's ultimately the people that are telling me that I'm going to fail or don't have it that push me to get up in the morning and light the fire under my ass. And so, people don't understand how crazy this game is. It's just such a crazy game. It's such a short amount of time, and in the grand scheme of things, it's a blimp. And so, it's a crazy game. I like I said, I love being an underdog. I think I've been underdog out of my 14 fights at least 9 or 10 times, and I've won the majority of those. I think I've lost 2 or 3 times as an underdog. So I do love
when you see people so decisively agreeing that on the ground, Paddy Pimblett has this huge advantage over you.
I mean, again, recency bias. People remember, the biggest fights that I've had against the most elite grapplers. I have had issues, but the way that Charles Oliveira got me to the ground was by, rocking me and sitting me down with a punch. Khabib was just a whole nother conundrum. And then, ultimately he's a really good grappler, but since the Charles Oliveira fight, I've really, really trained a lot of jiu-jitsu, a lot of grappling. And I've actually been enjoying it a lot more than I ever have. And so, I'm not looking to grapple, but I have no issue with the grappling department, and my ability to keep people from taking me down is second to none. So he's going to have to, compromise me with his punches and kicks and knees. And then, if that happens, then he'll have a better chance. But this is such a crazy game. You just never know. Maybe I'll sub him.
I mean, anything's possible.
Gotta be 1,000,000 to 1 odds though.
Oh, you're right. Oh, no, dude. What about the fights the other day? Like all the odds, all the weird.
There's that quiet pivot where respect turns into something sharper, where names get mentioned and the atmosphere shifts, because fear stops being weakness and starts becoming fuel. When fighters speak like that, it isn't hype. It's preparation. It's someone bracing for violence. And that's where I start asking who benefits most from this exact timing. Because timing at this level is never accidental. Not once. Not ever.
If Justin Gaethje shoots a takedown, what am I supposed to do when this guy gets subbed? Because if they do grapple for an extended period of time, obviously, Paddy Pimblett's going to submit him. If they grapple for like 2 or 3 minutes straight, I think Paddy Pimblett's going to lock up a triangle and sub Justin Gaethje, bro. That's what I think is going to happen. If they grapple. If Gaethje, for whatever reason, shoots a fucking takedown or swings really big and misses something and Paddy Pimblett capitalizes straight away, if he has that level of finesse to where he's able to make Gaethje miss and then follow up something like that, or he rocks him and then follows up, okay, Paddy Pimblett will sub him if there's extended grappling. But if Justin Gaethje actually fights behind his jab, like we've seen him do against Rafael Fiziev and Dustin Poirier, make Paddy Pimblett miss big, just play patient, feinting, moving around at range, grunting, calf kicking, chewing up the legs of Paddy Pimblett, making him switch stances, making him uncomfortable. I think Justin Gaethje has good enough anti-wrestling and good enough offensive boxing and the power to really make Paddy Pimblett pay. Because listen, Paddy Pimblett does have a crazy fucking chin. Like, there's no denying this dude is a—
Losing its patience is the real tell. That's when the mask slips. When analysts stop sounding balanced and start sounding rattled, you know the math isn't amazing anymore. Calling out guys like Armin, Max, Oliveira as the real kings while this interim fight hijacks the spotlight doesn't feel like opinion. It feels like an alarm. Like someone yelling before the building gives way. And I swear somebody is lying about why this order suddenly changed.
And I'm one of these guys that agrees. Don't get it wrong, ladies. Almost always, they're gonna get mad. I always pick the men's fight over the women's fight.
Okay.
This is the first time that I'm saying, how could you?
So you agree with me?
Justin Gaethje and who's the other dude?
Paddy Pimblett.
What the fuck? We got Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
In the women's shit.
I better be Michael on this.
Sound calm, but they're loaded with danger. Feints, calf kicks, overhands, triangles, all of it stacks into volatility. And volatility is the enemy of control. The more people say, if this happens, then that happens, the clearer it becomes that nobody actually knows what's coming. And that means the margin for disaster is massive, stupidly massive. Bedtime MMA lays the paths out so clean it almost feels sinister. One road leads to submission chaos, the other to long-range punishment and slow suffocation. When outcomes are that extreme, it means the fight lives on a knife edge. And knife edges erase legacies fast. I can't shake the feeling there's a missing detail. One small thing that changes everything. And it's being held back on purpose.
And with January coming up and the new Paramount deal, that main event of UFC 324, it's going to be headlined by Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje. Who do you favor in that fight?
Man, I got to go with Gaethje. I feel like he's the one that is more like enjoys like a knockdown drag out more than the other guy. Not that Paddy Pimblett doesn't love to fight. It's just Gaethje loves to like actually get down and throw fist for fist. And he's also got the Division I wrestling to kind of negate some of the biggest skill sets of Paddy. Paddy's like a very dominant grappler when it comes to submissions and being, aggressive with that. I think Gaethje has the tools to keep it where he wants it, and I think that's going to give him
to believe momentum. And who controls the story after the first real exchange? Once momentum swings, the division follows. Contenders rise or disappear overnight. Interim titles stop being temporary and start rewriting history. And yeah, I'll say it, this fight could wipe out years of work in minutes. And nobody is ready for that fallout. Nobody. So, when you're asked who wins and who gets the next shot, understand this. Answering too confidently is dangerous. This isn't settled. It's fermenting. It's unstable. Every confident prediction feels like bait. And something about the setup feels rushed, forced. Like it has to happen before the questions get louder. Nah, this isn't over.
And every confident prediction feels like bait, and something about